Hannah. In the hills of ancient Israel, there lived a man named Elkanah, who had two wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Peninnah had children, and her laughter and smiles filled the house, but Hannah's womb was barren, and her heart was heavy with sorrow. Every year, Elkanah would take his family to Shiloh to worship God, and Peninnah would taunt Hannah, provoking her deeply, like a constant thorn in her side. Hannah's pain ran deep, and tears often streamed down her face as she felt like she was living in the shadow of her co-wife's fertility. Elkanah, her loving husband, tried to comfort her, holding her close and whispering words of encouragement, but nothing seemed to fill the void that gnawed at her soul. One day, as they were at Shiloh, Hannah poured out her heart to God in prayer, her voice trembling with emotion. With tears streaming down her face, she vowed, "O Lord, if you grant me a son, I will dedicate him to your service all the days of his life." Eli the priest, who witnessed her prayer, looked at her with kindness and blessed her, saying, "May God grant you your petition." Months passed, and Hannah's body stirred with new life. She felt the flutter of a tiny heartbeat, and her soul sang with joy. She gave birth to a beautiful son, Samuel, and her heart overflowed with love and gratitude. True to her word, when Samuel was weaned, Hannah took him to Shiloh and presented him to Eli, saying, "I am the woman who stood here beside you praying to the Lord. I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him. So now I give him to the Lord. For his whole life, he will be given over to the Lord." As Hannah handed Samuel over to Eli, tears of joy and sorrow mingled on her face. She knew she was giving up her precious child, but she also knew she was giving him to something greater than herself. And in that moment, she felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that God's plan was unfolding perfectly. And God's blessings didn't stop there. Later, he blessed Hannah with more children, 3 sons and 2 daughters. Her family flourished, and her heart was filled with joy and contentment. She saw Samuel grow into a mighty prophet, and her pride and love for him only deepened. Hannah's story reminds us that God's ways are not our own. He sees our struggles, hears our prayers, and responds in his goodness. May we learn from Hannah's example, trusting in God's sovereignty and timing, even when the wait seems long, and may our hearts be filled with faith, hope, and love. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share with your loved ones. Subscribe for more Bible study.